You've caused me to want to dive in a little deeper and take a look at some of these, frankly.
Do you think you waited too long?
In hindsight, yes.
Of dollars and 6 years later, the state has very little to show for a privately owned vocational school set up to train injured workers for new careers.
Instead, unhappy workers say they're left with no training, no payments from the state, and no job. Tonight, the Problem Solvers investigation, School of Broken Dreams.
Welcome back. Tonight, the King 5 investigators expose that the state of Washington has paid millions of dollars to retrain injured workers at a questionable school with no accreditation.
Workers tell us after the Department of Labor and Industries, or L&I, pays for them to attend the school, they're not better off, they're actually worse. King 5 Susanna Frame is here now with her investigation, School of Broken Promises.
Greg and Jessica, the system sounds good on paper. If you're seriously injured on the job and need skills for a new one, the state will pay for you to get retrained. But at a vocational school based in Renton, we found disabled workers graduating with no skills, no job, and no more benefits from the state.
Critics say this school does a lousy job, but has taken an estimated $2 million in state tuition money. They readily give out diplomas. And here's the rub. As soon as some students get a diploma, the state cuts them off from short-term disability payments. The state saves millions. The school makes millions.
Rich Wilson of L&I oversees the state's retraining program. He says from this case, real systemic change is on the way.
Because what we found, and you probably did too, is that the state is littered with broken people that were really betrayed by that school and the system that put them in it.
It's been a lesson. And I can tell you this, to that end, we're going to take the lessons we learned from this audit, and we're going to make sure this kind of thing never happens again.
Did you find work as an office assistant? No, because I tried to get a job. When the people see me, well, you don't have one hand, and nobody give me a job.
Nobody's going to hire a one-armed office assistant.
Yeah. No, because
That's right. Yadira lost most of her right arm in that job accident, yet the Computer Institute said it would make her an office assistant, gladly accepting that $12,000 tuition payment up front from taxpayers.
Dozens of office career students say the state's investment did nothing for them. We found the money benefited at least one person, the school's owner, David Jordan. In 2017, he reported to the IRS that his salary to run office careers that year was more than $429,000.
And you're not a diploma mill.
No.
Owner Luis Orna says his students are the tough cases.
These students are coming here with a lot of issues, like psychological issues, like emotional issues, like financial issues. It's hard to train in these kind of people. So we are trying our best to do that.
The Computer Institute says it's had 232 students. They sent us this list of 28 names that they claim got jobs afterward, but no means of verifying.
And retraining injured workers is big business. In the last 10 years, L&I's paid out more than $70 million to schools for tuition and fees. And state financial records show no school's gotten more students or more money in this program than tiny office careers. Since 2010, they've raked in more than $7.3 million public dollars. That's more than double the amount paid to other accredited programs, such as Clover Park Technical College, Everett Community College, and Bates Technical in Tacoma. Unlike those other schools, Office Careers isn't accredited, and they don't have any documented track record of success. Hundreds of other programs used by the state show proof of performance, many with 80% of their students landing jobs in their field of study after graduation. Office Careers doesn't track those numbers.
Is this a wise use of the state's money?
Well, I think that's exactly the kind of information that we want so that we can take a closer look.
We sat with the state's top person on workers' comp. Vicki Kennedy says, true, they don't require schools to track placement rates. Counselors handle that. But she still expects good training to lead to jobs.
That's our ideal, is to get these workers back to work.
Trouble is, with all due respect, we don't really know how many of these graduates are getting jobs, do we?
We really don't.
Just 2% of injured workers like Yadira qualify for free training. It can keep them from welfare, Medicaid, homelessness. Now she's nearly out of money. No adequate training, no job, hoping for permanent disability money.
It's killing me if nobody give me the opportunity. I know I don't have one hand, but I have ideas, I have head to thinking.
At Office Careers, they don't give any tests, just progress reports to the state. And Cheney's look promising, that he's performing well and progressing as expected.
It's a joke, you know, and it's the joke's on me, though, is the problem.
The specific problem? If Office Careers keeps passing him along no matter what and gives him one of their certificates, the state can find he's fully prepared to score an office job and cut off all of his benefits.
In my case, I would lose everything I own.
After months of work, he's still typing just 5 words a minute. We watched him hunt and peck and make mistakes while, listen to this, the typing program continued to congratulate him.
There were errors, and it said you had a perfect score.
Right, yeah. It says, and that's the way this whole thing's set up.
We also looked honest. Cheney brought up an assignment to finish that he says his teacher had already finished for him.
Did you do that assignment?
No, I did not.
The project suddenly featured fancy fonts, bullet points, and perfectly lined up columns. Design techniques he says he has no idea how to execute.
Did the state get its money's worth today?
Not at all.
Cheney says it's a pattern. Assignments he didn't finish are fixed up and filed away as if he were able to do it.
It's very falsified. It's not my work. It's somebody else's work on the...
Certainly, one of our primary concerns is that workers are getting the training and the service that they deserve.
State officials say they'll now examine how to hold schools more accountable.
You've caused me to want to dive in a little deeper and take a look at some of these, frankly.
Do you think you waited too long?
In hindsight, yes.